Baby Love was founded in 2002. We specialize in sleep and routine. So parents who have children 5 years and younger, and if they're battling with a lack of sleep and a lack of routine or even a lack of discipline, then that's what we can assist them with. And if we're sitting with couples who are pregnant, then we recommend they see us before their baby is born. And the aim there is to equip them with the tools and the knowledge so that when they bring their baby home from hospital, they have a better understanding of what to expect, what to do, when to expect the different milestones, so that they don't find the parenting journey so overwhelming and too daunting. So our son was waking up 8 times a night. He was 7 months old, and it really got to a point where I loved him, but I no longer liked him. It got to a point where I said to my husband, if he wants another baby, he can find himself another wife. I was not going down this road again. And it was the sense of feeling very alone, desperate, frustrated. And I honestly thought that this was parenting. So the driving force behind Baby Love is to make parents know that if they are battling, it is fixable. It doesn't have to be doom and gloom, and parenting is not about sleepless nights and screaming infants. So from a parent's perspective, it has a negative impact in that they battle to work. So they battle to make clear-cut decisions, they can make irrational decisions, they might become quite impatient and snappy with colleagues. Mom and dad, often the partners will start fighting with each other over simple, silly things that they normally probably wouldn't fight over because they are tired. You just find that from a parent perspective, they don't function to their optimum. And also, if there is a toddler, a lot of parents start realizing that they become quite snappy and impatient with the toddler because they are so tired. That sleep deprivation, it affects the entire family unit.
We went through 2 years of sleepless nights. It was it really wreaked havoc on our life because we weren't sleeping, we were tired, exhausted. My husband and I were fighting all the time, but we persevered and we went through the 2 years. With our second child, she was a brilliant sleeper up until 4 months, and I thought, yay, I missed that. I'm lucky this time round. But after 4 months, it was like a switch turned on, and she would get up at 10 o'clock at night, and she'd only go to sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, wide awake between that time. So my husband and I were only getting between 2 to 3 hours of sleep a night.
The sleep training can be initiated if a parent sits down and realizes that their child is unable to fall asleep unassisted. So they're not sitting with an independent sleeper. They are in a situation where they're constantly having to rock their baby, feed their baby, pat their baby, drive their baby around the block in order to get their baby to fall asleep. And then their child is waking up throughout the night and they are having to go in and pat and rock and feed, etc.
Well, we decided to go and do the sleep training because we had a toddler who turned 2 years old and decided she does not want to sleep anymore. So we were getting up 3, 4, 5 times at night. She just was not interested. We tried everything, kept feeding her, kept rocking her, whatever we could do. It was just not working. In fact, we were just making things worse.
So sleep training is a boundary that a mom and dad are setting. And parents need to understand that when you set a boundary, there will be resistance. With a baby, when we do our sleep training, there's crying. With a toddler, when we say, no, you can't have the pair of scissors, they're going to throw a temper tantrum. But that's why we go back to that holistic approach. And as long as the parents are a united front, that is really, really important. And as long as they know that they've met their child's need and that they've got their ducks in a row, then it's absolutely fine to be firm with the boundary that they are setting. Take a seat, Prunella. Right. So what I want to touch on quickly, you spoke about the day and you were saying that she's catnapping 20 minutes here, and I'm looking at the questionnaire that you filled in for me. I want to just point something out to you. You will see when we talk about a day's sleep, we're looking at an hour and a half. And your hour and a half sleep cycle consists of the light sleep cycles and then deep sleep cycles, and it's imperative that our baby is getting to those deep sleep cycles because that's where she's going to thrive and she's going to grow. So it's also common for children to wake up in those light sleep cycles, daytime and nighttime, but what we want for them is to be able to put themselves back to sleep by themselves. What I want to highlight to you is that if you look at this over here, and you'll see that sleep training is the last piece of the puzzle. So it's really important that you don't do sleep training in isolation. And we need to make sure that we've got all our pieces in place so that when you come to implement your sleep training, you are 100% confident that you know there's nothing wrong and that you have met your baby's needs. But if you only focus on sleep training, chances are you haven't necessarily met your child's needs. I want you to photocopy that, stick that up throughout the house, also put it on your fridge, and you'll see at the top I've given you the crying checklist. So whenever your baby cries, and not only when you implement your sleep training, just whenever your baby cries, you need to know what the difference in the cries are so that you can then start reacting rationally and that you can meet your baby's needs.
What appealed to me was the practical, holistic approach to sleep training. I like that they didn't just focus on the night, the day was just as important. So we had to get the age-appropriate awake time, feeds and naps right in the day in order for our night to work successfully.
When we had our second baby, we did use the holistic approach, which Jackie explained to us, and with a great daytime routine, really implemented a great nighttime routine. So our baby at 6 months old is sleeping beautifully, is a happy, healthy baby during the day and night.